This is the bathroom.
So, you think you have bed bugs or something's biting you, but you can't find bed bugs. What do you do? So there's a couple things you can do. You can check out my video about how to inspect a hotel room for bed bugs. It's the same for your house. A chair's a chair, a bed's a bed, couch is a couch. And look a little closer. The other thing you can do is call First Defense Canine, and if you need information for that, it's in the description or on my website, or you can get a hold of me and I can get a hold of them. The canines come and inspect your home and give you a definitive answer whether you have bed bugs or not. So let's say you do all that, you still don't find anything, but something's biting you, irritating your skin. What could it be? Well, it could be a couple things. The first story is I had a lady once who thought she had fleas, and she had marks all over her body, and we couldn't find any fleas. We did the test, couldn't find anything, couldn't figure it out. And it's really not good to treat unless you know what is actually there. You could make it worse by doing the wrong thing. So we ended up sending her to a dermatologist, and she ended up having a staph infection. Not even bugs at all, but it looked like bugs. So another story is I had a lady call me. She swore she had bed bugs. We came, this was before we had the dogs. We tore the place apart, up and down, looking everywhere, didn't find a thing. So I started asking her questions, and turns out she had got a coupon for fabric softener and had been using a different fabric softener. So I told her, change back to your normal, because the whole family had it, and I couldn't find hide nor tail of nothing. So she changed back to her regular fabric softener for 1 week, and called her, and she said, you know what? No problems. So we should be good to go. So what else could it be? You are feeling you're feeling or seeing what you perceive as bites, but you can't find any bugs. It could also be static electricity. Now, before you laugh and scoff, hear me out. Every year I get a call, at least one, from what I call cubicle hell. You got a huge room with carpet, huge empty room, no walls, and a bunch of cubicles and computers, and it usually happens around fall when it's just starting to get cold. You've got all these computers sitting on the carpet. They just turned the heat on for the first time in the season, stirring up dust. And you've got a bunch of women wearing slippers and blankets and stuff because they're cold. And you put all that together and you get that static electricity, which can feel like bugs. I get calls all the time from those places, a huge cubicle hell. They say they have fleas. Well, that doesn't make an entomological sense. No animals. It's on a slab. It's an office. Nothing's really making sense. So I eliminate all the possibilities of it being rats or mice, or they've got varmints or a wildlife issue. And once I rule those out, I look to static electricity and start asking them about when they first turned their heat on for the season. So what else could it be? It could be medical. It could be, I'm not a doctor, but it could be a million different medical things, and from infections to irritations from something in the environment. Who knows? The point is here, the weird thing is that people, when you rule out the bugs, people get upset. It's very weird. So they call me out to fix what they perceive as a bug problem. I tell them, hey, it's not a bug problem. They get mad, which is just stupid, and it's just silly. Think back to the scientific method when you had to try to figure out what was going on. You start eliminating possibilities. So my job, my wheelhouse is the bugs. So I inspect for the bugs, see if there's any bug stuff going on, and I eliminate that. That should be a good thing for them, because then they can look at the other possibilities. They start ticking those possibilities off the list to try to narrow it down and figure out what's going on. The point is not to get a bug treatment, especially if there's no bugs there. The point is to figure out what's causing them pain, causing them annoyance, whatever's going on in their skin. If that was happening to me, I really don't care what it is. I just want to know what it is, and only when you know exactly what it is can you move forward with some sort of a solution. If these people get stuck on, it's a bug problem. No, I swear it's a bug problem. It's a bug problem. And then if they stay on that, they're never going to get to the solution that they're actually looking for. Unfortunately, this often develops into Delusory parasitosis, or delusional parasitosis, or however you want to say it. Basically, they think there's bugs there, but there's not. This is it's a hard situation to deal with. There is no telling someone who is under that condition, the Delusory parasitosis, that there's no telling them that the bugs aren't there. They'll get angry with you. They will get very angry with you. They'll give you Ziploc bags and pill bottles full of skin and boogers and pieces of leaves and swear those are bugs. They'll even say things like, oh, well, I can see them, but you can't see them. That's a good indication that something is mentally wrong, not entomologically wrong. So that's the other option, is it's a mental thing where there are no bugs there, but they swear up and down there are, and there's no convincing. We had a lady years and years ago who definitely was suffering from Delusory parasitosis. She had more chemical in her garage than I do in my stockroom, and she had used it all inside her home. So much so that she had bought a fogger, a professional fogger, and fogged the entire inside of her house, which is not recommended whatsoever. Her husband was just beside himself because he did not suffer from this. Luckily, he did not suffer from this, because sometimes they can convince someone who's suffering from Delusory parasitosis, can convince someone else, and they actually start to believe it too, and that's called folie à deux. It's a whole mess, and then you got two people that believe this, and it's terrible. It's almost like the heroin addicts that think there's bugs under their skin. You ain't gonna fix that by talking to them. I've even taken samples and sent them off to a lab and gotten an official report, and that official report says no bugs, and they get angry because I'm not playing into their delusion. So that's the problem, is you're not playing into their delusion. But you cannot treat just because they think there's bugs there. You could make it worse. You're introducing another product, another chemical, whatever, into this mix, and that is bad juju. So at the end of the day, the point here is, it doesn't matter what the problem actually is, but you want to figure out what it is so you can act appropriately to fix the problem. If you have it in your brain that bugs is the only option, and you're not going to hear anything else, then you can't be helped. And you'll have your pest control professional throw up his hands and walk out because now you become a liability of a pissed off customer. But we're just trying to help you. So, you know what bugs me? Bites. What the heck are they? But if it's bugs, I love to kill them.
Killing me, Smalls. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yes, for certain. There is no stopping them. The ants will soon be here. And I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords. I'd like to remind them that as a trusted TV personality, it can be helpful in rounding up others to toil in their underground sugar cave.
So, I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way.